Welcome to the Be Well, Be Keto podcast, where we showcase ordinary people who have achieved extraordinary results. Your host is the high energy girl, Tracee Gluhaich.
Hey there, this is Tracee, and welcome to the bonus episode of Be Well, Be Keto, the Thanksgiving edition, with none other than me as your guest. So thank you guys so much for listening. Tomorrow is Thanksgiving here in the States, and I just wanted to let you know how thankful I am for you. Yes, you, the listeners of this show. And I sincerely mean that because I never ever thought how popular the show would be and how many great comments I get from local people, from strangers, the questions. It's just like, wow, I am a big podcast freak. I love listening to so many different numerous podcasts, and to think that I was actually able to get one that people resonated with. And I also want to thank all my guests. I have so enjoyed just having a conversation with somebody and hearing their story and just really getting to know people, in a short little visit, but just hearing, everything that has happened to them before keto, during keto, now, and just seeing the life change that it has brought. When I went to KetoCon in September, I remember Ted Teakin saying that we all need to create a little ripple effect and spread the word of keto, spread the hope that keto can bring to somebody who is not healthy and who needs some nutritional support. So I thought I would start off the show just by telling you a little bit about me, and then talk about why I'm determined to do keto, and end with some questions, because I've had a lot of questions lately that I think need to be answered. I'm also in between there going to talk about just quick steps to keto in case you're not already on that journey, and some variations that I think are important. So all my life, my parents were overweight and always on a diet of one sort or another. And I remember when I was maybe 8 or 9, they were on Atkins, and I loved that one because they would have, these salad bars with lots of cheese and fish and chicken. And it was just, I remember loving the Atkins when they were on Atkins. But fast forward, my mom and dad, well, especially my mom, has been on like every diet. And I remember growing up thinking I was fat because both of my two best friends were twigs. We are talking twigs. And here I was kind of curvy. Was never like really, well, I was just curvy. Let's just leave it at that. And anyway, but I always like felt fat, and I always like wanted to be skinny. And that was like my dream, is just to be skinny, like Autumn and Marianne. They were both so thin. And so I went on every single diet that was imaginable. Like Cambridge, Herbalife, Diet Center, Weight Watchers, cabbage soup diet, Hollywood diet, the one that you ate pineapple like for 3 days. I don't know. I got canker sores in my mouth. But you name it, I have been on it. But the problem is I can't ever stick to it, because when I'm deprived, it just makes me go crazy. So I have starved myself. I have exercised myself to crazy. And I've just done all this stupid stuff. And now I'm 52. And I have just had it. I'm not going to deprive myself anymore. I'm too old. So I found keto, and I think some of you may have heard this already, but back at the end of 2015, I can't remember the exact month, but my mom got diagnosed with Hashimoto's and Alzheimer's both together, pretty much. And I was like looking at nutritional therapies to try to help her be healthier. And I stumbled upon keto, and never in a million years would I have ever thought that I would actually have believed in a low carb diet. And I can't remember what year I wrote this book, but in about, 2014, I wrote this book, and I would like make fun of low carbers. I thought that you needed carbs. But I studied keto seriously for like a year. And then finally in October of 2016, I decided to try it. And I weighed, the highest at that point was 160. And I'll never forget, I think that same Easter, 6 months prior, my mother-in-law said, "You are falling out of your pants and your blouse." And I'm like, okay. So I'd gotten a little fluffy. Now, let's go back to how that weight started coming on. So at the age of 50, you are like this menopause mess, right? Your waist comes from nowhere, and you are like gained all this weight. You're having hot flashes. You can't sleep. It is miserable. So a bunch of people I knew were doing these hormone implants. Now, I didn't know what exactly it was, but everybody said, oh, you're going to feel so good. You're going to love it. Well, for me, it was a nightmare. I gained like 13 pounds in 3 weeks. I exercise almost every day. I eat, I thought it was healthy, but still, it wasn't that bad. And I was just packing on the weight, and especially in the belly. Like, I never had belly fat really. It would all be in my butt and my thighs, but all of a sudden it was in my belly and my waist, and nothing was fitting. It was horrible. So I was just like, I had it. So I did a challenge with Keto Gains, one of their boot camps. My friend Kristen and I, we embarked on it together. I ended up getting hurt because I'm very competitive, and so I was lifting a little bit more and got a shoulder impingement that put me out for a bit. But I did lose about 10 pounds, and I still kept going on the program pretty much, okay? So I just wasn't getting the results that I thought I should get, and so I ended up having a food sensitivity test. I was 100% sold out on keto. I knew that this is what I wanted to do because I had been listening to podcasts pretty much every day. And I'm in sales, so I'm up and down the highway all the time, and that's how I entertain myself, is by listening to podcasts. And so I decided that this is the way I wanted to live my life because of the health benefits alone. And the other thing that was really sealing the deal is Ty Bollinger from Quest for the Cure, The Truth About Cancer. He has done research on cancer like you can't believe and interviewed all these experts all over the world that are healing people with non-traditional methods. And I just was on his blog one day looking at an article, and I saw that he ate keto. And I'm like, oh my gosh, knowing what that guy knows about cancer, and if he's choosing this lifestyle, then that's the way I want to choose it as well. So in July, I had a food sensitivity test done, and it said that I had all these sensitivities: dairy, eggs, gluten. Those are like the big ones.